Now, Michigan Reimagined with Chris Buck.
So there's this amazing opportunity for a small business or startup being launched in the Lansing region that just has to be shared. So here to discuss the Lansing Built-To-Last competition is the Vice President from Dewpoint, Massey. Welcome to the show, Michelle.
Thank you so much, Chris. It's great to be here.
So, there's a competition happening, as I alluded to. So I think I'm going to change my first question to say, let's cut to the chase. Competition, there's got to be a prize. Can you give me a summary of what's up for grabs here to the winner?
Absolutely. The jackpot, as we're calling it, that's up for grabs is the opportunity to have a brick and mortar building in downtown Lansing with most of the startup costs for a new business being covered. So we have a location that, if you know downtown Lansing a little bit, the old Hallmark store is what we're looking at to designate as the location. We have the Gillespie Group that is providing the renovations on the inside of the building. AT&T is providing communications. Dewpoint is providing the IT services that goes along with it. We have Rathbun Insurance that's giving money towards the insurance, the business insurance for the first year. Board of Water and Light is giving reduced water and electricity. We have MSU FCU that's providing financial counseling and the bank account for the winner so that they have a business account. We have Foster Swift that is providing the legal services for the business to help them get started and any contracts that they will need. And I have about 15 other local businesses that have contributed time, effort, talent, and treasure. But I know our call is only 15 minutes long, so I can take up the whole 15 minutes just going through all our sponsors.
But it's really a turnkey. I mean, it's an opportunity for someone to start a business in downtown Lansing and have really all of the, common expenses covered for a year.
Exactly. And the return on investment is all of these community supporters are going to be putting in their time and effort to make sure that the business is as successful as possible. So in year 2, they're ready to not only thrive as a business, but they're ready to give back to the community as well by being able to pay their rent and being able to pay for their water and electricity and their business insurance. So as a community, we have a vested interest in making sure that this startup business is successful.
So how did this idea Built-To-Last come about? Like, what problem was trying to be solved and why this rallying cry?
It was the pandemic, honestly. Downtown Lansing, our building resides down here, and slowly but surely, you started seeing hours being reduced, stores starting to close, businesses working remotely, and as I was downtown, I started hearing people talk about, well, if the state would only come back, things could get back to normal. Or if this would happen, then things could get back to normal. And as I was looking around, I said, I don't know what normal is anymore, and I don't know what normal is going to be. But the one thing that I do know is that if we wait for something to happen, we are going to find ourselves as a community trying to play catch up and not leading. And what can we do to help economic development during this downtime? And when people have time to think and be innovative and they're having more time to themselves. So that's where the idea really came from, is what can we do to drive economic development in the Lansing region, understanding that money and finding locations is going to be a difficult thing. So I picked up the phone and just started talking to people about this idea of if we could have a business that didn't have to pay for itself the first year, and they could get the mentoring and the support that they needed, and also the community engagement of being able to pick the business that they want in downtown Lansing, then people should come. People should want to visit and be patrons of this place. And that's really how it started. It was just a spark of an idea picking up the phone from grassroots, getting some advice and mentoring, and then people just started coming out of the woodwork to help. It was literally that easy. Or hard.
Right. Well, it's so impressive. I mean, you rattled off a lot of names and brands that people that are listening probably would recognize. And but, you've kind of been the face of this, and I see you around the Mid-Michigan networking scene. And so you, on behalf of Dewpoint, seem to be the champion of this cause. Does Dewpoint have a larger role in this, or did you have part of the personally have part of the origination of this concept, or how did you get this torch?
So it was originally my concept, but what I have is a fantastic company that I work with, and I told them that I had this idea that I'd really like to see what happened with it and see what we could birth in our community. And they rallied behind me and said, go for it. If you need IT support for this endeavor, Dewpoint's ready to step in and help with IT because that's what we do. And
right.
From there, they just left me to my own devices to go out into the community and really see if there was a legitimate need and if the businesses in the area were willing to get on board. So it was my concept, but it was supported through Dewpoint from beginning to right now, which just says volumes about the company that I work for and the flexibility and the freedom that they give us to be creative and to try to really support and advance our community.
Well, that's a great testament to you as a leader and to Dewpoint as a company. So congratulations and thank you. So you mentioned a little bit the office space is already kind of defined, right? And I'll give them, I don't know if you mentioned them in the intro or when you were talking, but the George F. Ide family, who's probably downtown anyway, best known for the rehabilitation of the Knapp Center, which is a historic building right on, Washington. And this is right across the street, correct?
Correct. It is right next door to Domino's. It's where the old Hallmark building used to be. And this is a side note, but if a business is looking at that space and saying, oh, that's too big for me, we can definitely adjust and we can look at that and devise ways to make it work for them. So I don't want the building to dictate the type of business that we're trying to bring downtown.
Makes
it doesn't have to be something that is 3,000 square feet because that's how big the building is.
Okay.
So I don't want people to let that building limit their thoughts or their creativity or what they can bring to this, because the building is a location, but if we need to adapt, we can.
Understood. Yeah, there's definitely places that, I hear you. There's other places people could go. So, all right, so it's a competition. So let's talk about this. So who's eligible to apply and kind of what criteria must be met by the applicant?
Sure. The criteria that we have in place is a business needs to be in existence 2 years or less if they want to apply, or it can be a brand new startup business. We want something that is fresh, that's innovative, and we want to give a business that is just in its infancy or has not been started yet a chance to utilize these resources that they may not have otherwise had. The other thing that we're looking for is that we're looking for a business idea that is going to help bring traffic to downtown Lansing, whether that is on the weekends, whether that's in the evening, something that is going to hire our local workforce. So it's about getting the business, but it's also about supporting our local economy so that it has longevity and that people from all areas will want to come make this business a destination and the rest of the Lansing area as well.
All right. So what do they need to submit?
They need to submit a letter of intent. So if they go to www.lansingbuilt-to-last.com, there is an apply button up in the right-hand corner, and you just fill out the form right on the screen. So there's nothing to download. There's nothing complicated. You just get in the form and you start typing. And all it is the idea. It's about the idea. It's about, do you have something that's going to resonate with this area? And there are questions that go through the criteria and things like that. And then we will look at that and we will see, because we need to evaluate the entries. And then we will send the individuals a business plan for them to actually fill out that gets into the nitty-gritty of what their business is going to be, financial viability, some of those other questions. But right now, just to apply, it's just a letter of intent. We just want to see the ideas that are out there. We want to give people an opportunity to be seen and heard by all of these sponsors that are out here, so that maybe this competition may not be the thing that's going to get them started, but it may get them a connection that's going to propel them to the next step. So we have mentors for the people who make it through, that someone to discuss your idea. If you don't have that business prowess that you think you should have, we have mentors to help the individuals that put their business ideas forth as well.
And we're recording this in February of 2021 for those who hear it later on. Can you tell us about the timeline? When do they need to have their application in, and when will the award be given, and what does that process look like?
Absolutely. We are looking for the letter of intent, the online filing, on March 14th, 5 o'clock. Then we're going to cut everything off. We're going to review all of the applications, and then we're going to send out welcome letters to ask people to submit their business plans. Then on April 14th, we're going to have all the business plans in, and that's when our sponsors are going to start judging the entries that have been submitted. And we are going to pick the top 5. Then the top 5 applicants, I'll call them, will actually have an opportunity to be mentored and then have their pitch recorded at a brand new studio that is downtown Lansing called Greenwood Studios, and they are going to tape the pitch competitions, I'm calling it the pitches for each business, and then those are going to be compiled by WLNS, and we are going to have a live streamed reveal of the winner on Friday, May 7th. And that is going to be open to the community. We're going to have the pitches on our website so the community can look at them and get excited about the businesses. And then the actual reveal will be done on the 7th, and it'll be emceed by WLNS.
That's fantastic. What a story. I mean, just so great that by May 7th, someone's going to get basically a free office setup for a year and all the periphery support to it as well. And it's being done in a competitive but fun and transparent environment. You've got really the who's who of the Lansing employers serving as the judges. Is that what I'm to understand, that all of these players that are contributing their time or in-kind, contributions to this are part of the judging panel?
Yes, they are. And that is important because most of these businesses have been in the Lansing area for a while, and they have experience and they've seen a lot of things. They've done a lot of things in this area. And so they will have that insight into what can resonate with the community and the role that they're going to play to help this business be successful. So who better to get to know these businesses than those individuals? And
they were all startups at some point in their own right?
Exactly. Dewpoint started with 11 people, and now we're up to about 300. So everyone starts somewhere.
So you said you have 5 basically finalists going through the true pitch competition, and the winner will be unveiled. I just got to ask, is there anything for 2nd through 5th, or is winner take all?
It's winner take all, but no one's a loser.
Sure.
I'm going to say that right now, because if you're having a mentor from LEAP or MSU or the Lansing Chamber, you're a winner, because these are connections that a lot of these businesses have not had, or these startups may not have ever had an opportunity to get with this caliber of people.
No question.
And of course, we'll have the participation trophy, but so that people can remember this and they can put it on their business application at some point in time. But it really is about making those connections, being part of the fabric of our network. And of our community, and getting voices from all over, from all walks of life. It doesn't matter right now your educational background. It doesn't matter where you're from. Everyone, this is a level playing field, and everyone has an opportunity to submit and be heard.
That's fantastic. And I applaud it all. Maybe it'll get people that have an idea in their head motivated to put a business plan together, and even if they don't win, they can still launch, right?
Exactly.
We've been talking to Michelle Massey from Dewpoint about the Lansing Built-To-Last competition. Check them out at lansingbuilt-to-last.com. Thanks for joining me today, Michelle.
Thank you so much for the invitation.